Why is it that people are willing to leave their homes, their families, and their countries and move all the way over here and risk having nothing? What would force you to want to give up everything you know? What would be the conditions that you would be living in that would make you want to come live in San Francisco in a little ass apartment filled with hella people and work at a job where the people don't respect you?
I know a lot of people who have immigrated from different countries, and I see how hard it is for them to make a living in America. Most immigrants come to this country to better themselves. They leave behind their families because they can't live in the conditions they're living in. But there are some people in America who want to send them back.
Ask, why are immigrants even coming here? Why are these countries so poor? You know, why are these countries don't have jobs? Why do these countries don't have adequate, living conditions? And you can see that, the United States has a huge involvement in the reasons why a lot of countries are the way they are.
What is it that's going on that the United States is possibly responsible for? What are the wars that are going on in Central America? And how has the United States had a role in contributing to that?
The United States companies, their factories, their workers are in there taking money away from their economy and bringing it back here. And so it's really unfair when, a business, a large corporations like the United States could say, no, we don't want your people to come here, but we still want your labor.
There's really no difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant because immigrants are immigrants whether you have papers or not. You come from a different country and register here in America, but you're still an immigrant because you crossed the border. Many immigrants that are here illegally can't go back and forth between their countries. This situation splits up many families and kids can't often see their parents.
Kids are already messed up. A lot of people, they don't have documents, and especially if their parents were to leave, I know them kids, they'd be like, well, what happens to me now? They'd probably be put in foster home.
When people think of immigrants, they just think of Mexicans. But immigrants come from all over, Asia, Africa, and Central America. When people talk about immigrants, they want to say something negative, and it's mostly addressed to the Mexicans. Like, they drain our resources and take advantage of our system. But all they do is work here just like the rest of us.
My dad, he's from Mexico, and my mom's from El Salvador, and they came here. My mom came here in the 70s, and then my dad also came here in the 70s. Well, I guess every other immigrant, they always go to LA, and then from LA they kind of branch out to wherever there's job opportunities. Because I know that's how it was for my mom. She had a lot of help because then all her brothers and her sisters came, and then they had help from from friends. And so those friends would let them stay at their house for free and until they got jobs and stuff. I know my mom was at a nanny for a while. My dad went to straight to work in the ranches in Marin County, and he picked flowers over there from 6 in the morning to midnight.
Do the work that Americans don't want to do. Like dishwashers, they're cooks, janitors, picking up fruits, in the fields, farm workers, construction workers.
Past May 1st, we had a huge protest across the whole country where it was called A Day Without Immigrants, and all the different people that supported immigrants being able to have, basic human rights here in the United States chose to use their dollars just like ballots. And that maybe everybody can't vote, but we all got dollars. And so what we did was we all either stayed home or didn't go to work and didn't go to school, or we were out in the streets protesting.
Everyone walked out of school because they're well, why should I help support this country if they're going to try to kick my family out?
My dad is from Senegal, and then my mom is from England, a country in England, not from London. So we all immigrated to America when I was about 3 months old from Mexico. So they met in Mexico, I was born, and then we went to the U.S., to California. They said they're going to put a criminal record on people who have helped out immigrants, get jobs and have housing.
Immigrants contribute more to this society and this economy than they take. There's a misconception right now in the media. They're making it seem like immigrants are parasites on this country, but in reality, we're the ones that hold it up.
I honestly do think that the immigrants should stay and should always stay because honestly, they do the work that other people don't want to. They clean the hotel rooms. They pick your freaking fruit and vegetables, and they do everything for this country. And honestly, no one says thank you about it. They just say, okay, get out.
the people who have made a life here, they should be able to stay here. It's really not right for them to bring people back. This is where they want to be. This is their dream to be here. You know.
I think illegal immigrants should be considered criminals because they're human beings. They're just for crossing an imaginary line. They are criminals as like it's like committing a crime, and I just don't think that's just.
I don't think they should be considered felons. I mean, you know, whatever happened to, you know, this being the land of the free, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you remember back in the days, there were so many people trying to come to the United States because, oh, once I get to America, it's cool, you know, I'll get a job and whatever, you know? And all of a sudden they want to kick us out, you know what I'm saying? We're here already.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people pay taxes on every hour they work, on everything they buy. And so all of that money is going into the economy, but at the same time, immigrants aren't able to take from those resources and use social services the way that other people can. You can't get health care. You can't even get a driver's license because after Arnold Schwarzenegger got elected, the first thing he did was take away the right for immigrants to get driver's licenses. So it's just unfair that people can contribute so much and we can take so much from them, and then they don't even want to grant them human rights.
This is real mission. This is the heart of the mission. This is where it's started. And like right here, especially around here, this is where a lot of like day laborers stay in the morning. You leave 1 second and then someone comes, that's somebody else taking your job. That's somebody else taking your like $50, $60 for the day, right? And that $50, $60 could like go to your family in Latin America or Mexico, El Salvador, or you know, Guatemala or Nicaragua or wherever they're from, right? They leave the little posts, and that's why I think people just like always be discriminating, talking about all they do is just stand there. They don't even go look for a job. Well, they're looking for a job. That's what people don't think. They honestly don't think that. They don't think of the aspects and all the different scenarios that like can happen and stuff.
They want the same things as us when they work, to make money, to feed their families, and to have a better life. Some come here so they can get a better education. Because
they're trying to make it better for their lives. They're trying to make their lives better and their children's life better.
Oh, my dad only went to the 6th grade, so it's pretty like for him, it's a pretty big deal. I think for more my mom. My mom really wants me to go to college and get a degree. Just like she has, because like she's going to City College right now and she's studying to be a teacher, a preschool teacher. So for her especially, it's a lot for me to graduate from high school.
Why all of a sudden does the government want to send all these people back? Why would you want to send these people back to a place they left for a reason? We're supposed to be a nation of one, but we're so quick to turn on people when it's not about us. Americans are selfish and only want money, and when someone isn't useful anymore, we just throw them away. They want the same things as us when they work.
The fence and sending the National Guard to the border, I think it's very hypocritical because when I was in high school, they used to teach us about the Berlin Wall and United States involvement and tearing down walls between nations and how, you know, everybody should, you know, live equally and those type of things. But now they're setting up a fence and a big, huge wall on the border between Mexico and ourselves. And I think it's really dumb that you're going to spend millions and millions of dollars to build a wall instead of trying to really come with some concrete solutions.
Mr. Bush says the federal government will pay for 6,000 National Guard troops to be deployed to the border from the Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. He urged Congress to create a temporary worker program which would allow foreign workers to obtain a special ID card so they can enter the U.S. and work, but only for a limited time.
The United States has this project called Operation Gatekeeper, and Operation Gatekeeper is this like militarization of the border right by TJ and Santiago. And what they've done is they've invested all this money into building a wall, and now the legislation is proposing to expand that wall to make it huge. Right now there's a series of 3 different walls that are all in a row at a place where people have constantly, for the past thousands of generations, migrated back and forth across that river and across that area. And so the United States has invested all this money into making that a place where you can't cross.
Dealing with like the whole like war on terror thing, right? Putting that National Guard thing like right here, like in the bay or like in the Marina District, right? Protect the Golden Gate Bridge or something, protect the pier or something, right? Why you gotta go over there? It's like everyone's looking towards like Mexico, but no one will look at Canada.
They want opportunities and choices. They work just as hard as everyone else, but they are not registered to be in America. A lot of immigrants run businesses like markets and clothing stores, and we buy a lot of things from them, so they're a part of our communities. They're our friends and family. Most of the people we meet in the Bay Area are immigrants, and if we send them back, ain't no American gonna take the jobs they had, like working in the fields and in the factories. We need them because they provide for us. Without them, who's gonna do it?
I'm sick and tired of being criticized. I'm sick and tired of barely getting by. I'm sick and tired of not living right. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of being pushed aside. I'm sick and tired of calling folks for rides. I'm sick and tired of this penny life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.